Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. Folks, this is an old article. This one is from the summer, and a lot has happened since then. The point of the video, actually, this is just a springboard. I want to answer a question from a longtime supporter over on Patreon. I think he's also a YouTube member, but posing the question is, why isn't anyone telling T-Mobile no? Why does T-Mobile continue to get their way when it comes to everything? For example, they have access to an enormous amount of bandwidth. Since the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, they've capitalized on more opportunities for spectrum at every auction, as well as deals with US Cellular. You think about all of the things that have transpired, and this actually goes back to the Metro deal. But the thing is why I made this video is there's some things that T-Mobile actually should be approved for, in my opinion, and should not be regulated in a negative way. Maybe there's deals and concessions to make, but there's certain things that I do believe that T-Mobile should be approved for, and it should not be given a stone wall. All right, so let me make my position clear. My basic premise for this whole concept is that if T-Mobile is doing something that gives them an unfair advantage, if T-Mobile is doing something that could potentially be detrimental to the industry, to consumers, whatever, any of those things, then of course it should be regulated accordingly, denied, whatever. Now there's things that T-Mobile has done that in the past, recently especially, that you could say are questionable, and I'm with you there. But there's something that they should not be prevented from getting involved in, and that's wireline, and that's home broadband. They have completely disrupted the industry. They've done it in mobility, they've done it in now home internet. And that capacity that they have on their wireless network is being leveraged to the highest extent. They grow in wireless, in terms of just mobile usage, your smartphone access. And then they also grow in home internet. And they've completely changed the competitive landscape in a good way. So if they're going to get involved in the home internet industry within the wireline side of it, so we're talking about fiber, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I'm here to watch it. What cable has done for the last 30 years has been nothing short of anti-competitive and nothing short of consumer abuse. T-Mobile coming in and disrupting that is absolutely beautiful and wonderful. This is the same thing that I think that we saw with T-Mobile in just their mobility services, what they did with other big carriers like AT&T and Verizon. We want to see that same thing happen in home broadband. So if the FCC approves T-Mobile for things like the Metronet deal and Lumos and other wireline builders, the companies that build fiber, I'm for it. And I think T-Mobile understands that their upside in what they can do with their wireless network does have technical limitations. There's only so much usage you can put on the network before the capacity becomes constrained, and it's going to negatively impact the wireless experience. And we don't want to see that. So I don't think there's any indication that what T-Mobile is doing is anti-competitive. I don't think they need to be shut down for any of these fiber acquisitions. If the fiber company wants to sell out and the fiber company is not doing well because they can't sell their services that great, T-Mobile has the brand. T-Mobile has the customer-facing equity, right? They're known as a disruptor. They're a well-known brand. People, when they see their advertisements, it resonates. It hits home. They nail the marketing piece. They've got that type of familiarity in the industry. And they've got a convergence opportunity because customers who have their wireless, it would be very easy to convert to a fiber offer that's both competitive and high quality. So in my opinion, hell no. FCC or any regulatory body should not prevent T-Mobile from getting involved in wireline and purchasing fiber operators. T-Mobile, for what it's worth, has acknowledged that they don't know how to build fiber. They don't know how to really operate fiber. They know how to sell internet. So them being the sellers and them acquiring the assets makes a lot more sense. And they continue to operate and own those assets and keep those people working and building and expanding. T-Mobile would always get bigger than anything those smaller companies would have did. and those folks can keep working and building and managing and being a part of that growth. I don't really see the downside. And then, of course, folks getting a competitive offer, competitive price from a company they know, right, in a better way than they would have otherwise. And the competition with the other providers, T-Mobile can definitely be a big part of that. I just don't think they should be stifled. Everything is situational based. I can't just cast an umbrella over this whole thing and say, no, T-Mobile's gotten their way with everything. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that does anybody any good. If T-Mobile will play the game the right way, I think they should be allowed to play. What do you guys think, though? Let me know if you have any reservations about T-Mobile just getting their way, or if you think, like in my case, it just depends on what they're doing. Drop me some comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.